Ethan Williams had never been this close to losing everything. Sweat soaked his shirt as he stared at the screen in front of him, his fingers flying across the keyboard. Lines of code scrolled faster than his eyes could follow, but it didn't matter. It was all crashing down. He'd spent years building his AI platform, hours upon hours perfecting the algorithm that could change the world. And now it was all falling apart in front of the investors who were supposed to fund his future. "You've got this, Ethan. Don't screw it up," he muttered to himself, willing himself to stay calm, but his voice cracked. It was too late. "Mr. Williams, I'm afraid it's over," a voice interrupted. Claire, his CTO, stood in the doorway, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. "Don't say that," Ethan snapped, not taking his eyes off the screen. "It's not over yet?" She sighed heavily. "Ethan, you've been saying that for hours. The server is fried. The platform won't respond. You need to shut it down before we lose everything." "No," he barked, gritting his teeth. "I can fix it. I can fix this. I have to." His fingers hit the enter key one last time, the final command. He watched in horrified silence as the screen blinked once, twice, and then the whole display went black. Completely black. His heart stopped. "Error. 404. Life not found." Ethan blinked at the screen, unable to process the words. "What the hell?" he whispered, his mind racing. His hands shook uncontrollably as he tried to reboot the system, but no matter how many times he hit the power button, the screen remained blank. A strange chill crept down his spine. Suddenly, there was a hum, a low buzzing sound like the static of a broken radio. The lights in the office flickered. The walls seemed to close in on him, the floor shifting beneath his feet. He grabbed the edge of his desk, panic rising in his chest. "Ethan?" Claire's voice was distant, almost distorted. He turned toward her, but she was already gone, her form flickering like a faulty video feed. Before he could speak, before he could even think, the world around him cracked open. The floor disappeared. The walls splintered like glass. His desk dissolved into thin air and his body was ripped from the ground as though gravity itself had given up on him. He screamed, only there was no sound. The office was gone. Everything was gone. And then, nothing. When Ethan opened his eyes, the first thing he noticed was the sky. It wasn't like the typical gray, overcast sky of his home city. No, this sky was vivid. Brilliant shades of purple and gold swirled together like a painting in motion. The air was thick with energy, and it crackled around him in a way that felt both familiar and utterly alien. His chest tightened. "Where am I?" he muttered, trying to stand, but his legs felt unsteady. He was on his knees, the ground beneath him soft as cotton. He looked around. It was a field. No, more like a plain. Endless rolling hills of tall grass stretched out as far as he could see. At the horizon, towering mountains loomed, their peaks disappearing into a shimmering mist. Everything about this place was otherworldly. Beautiful, yes, but it felt wrong, as if it shouldn't exist at all. But the strangest thing wasn't the setting, it was the code. Floating in the air above him were strange, glowing symbols. Strings of numbers and letters flickered and shifted like some kind of cosmic algorithm. Ethan's mind clicked, the recognition immediate. He was staring at the code of reality. The very fabric of this world was written in something he could understand. This is impossible, he breathed, his eyes wide as he staggered to his feet. "That's right," a voice answered, smooth as silk, but somehow ancient. Ethan turned quickly. Standing there, just a few feet away, was a woman. No, an apparition. Her hair was long and silver, flowing like a river of light. Her eyes glowed faintly like two burning stars. She wore a robe made of flowing fabric that shimmered and rippled with every movement. "Who the hell are you?" Ethan demanded, his heart racing. He was still trying to process what had just happened. Was this some kind of VR simulation gone wrong? Was this a dream? Or had he somehow gone insane? The woman smiled, but there was something unsettling in her expression. "I am Lyra," she said calmly, "and you are the new god." Ethan blinked, the world spinning around him. "What?" he choked out. "God, I'm not—" "You are, or you will be," she interrupted, stepping closer. Her voice was gentle, but it carried a weight that made him uneasy. "This is the realm of divinity. You have crossed over to a world where power is written in code, just as you wrote your own code in your world." I'm what?" Ethan's mind was reeling. "I don't understand. I was just at work. Lyra raised a hand, silencing him. "Do not waste your energy on the trivialities of your former life. You are no longer bound to that world. Here, you can rewrite reality itself." Ethan took a step back, his brain trying to catch up. "What do you mean? Rewrite reality? I'm not a god. I'm just a guy who—" "You are not just a guy anymore," Lyra said, her voice becoming firmer. "You are now a creator, just as the gods before you were. You can shape this world, alter its very code. The magic you see is not some mystical force. It is simply data you now control." His pulse quickened. The idea seemed absurd, but something deep inside him was already excited by it. He reached out with trembling fingers, and as if on instinct, his hand brushed against one of the floating symbols. The air shimmered, and the ground beneath him seemed to pulse, the very fabric of reality responding to his touch. "This isn't real," Ethan muttered to himself, but deep down, he knew it was. Lyra watched him for a moment, her eyes calculating. "It is real, Ethan, but the question is, what will you do with it?" Ethan looked at her, the excitement mixing with fear. I can change things. I can make it all work again. You can do anything," Lyra interrupted, her voice now almost cold. "But be warned, the gods who once ruled here will not look kindly on your presence. They will fight to keep their dominion over this world." Ethan's mind raced. There were no limits here, no boundaries. He could reshape everything. He could finally fix everything he'd broken in his old life. But that was the problem, wasn't it? He had always been trying to fix things. His company, his relationships, his failure. And now he was about to face gods who would do everything in their power to stop him. He grinned, the hunger for power and control rising in him. "I didn't come all this way just to lose." "Then prepare yourself," Lyra said softly, her smile returning. "For the world you are about to create will have consequences." Ethan didn't care. For the first time in his life, he felt in control. The game had changed, and this time, he was going to be the one to win.